Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my Let's Play The Sims 3 on Saturdays. So, as you may have noticed from my thumbnail, the Swans have moved to Isla Paradiso, the Paradise Island expansion. And I was trying very hard to get them to do the move from like the official kind of move that you do from town to town and stuff. And because I was having so many glitches in Appaloosa Plains, I finally gave up. And I actually ended up making a copy of the family and then just moving them over here. I actually this is I think one of the new houses available from the Into the Future, and it's a very futuristic house. And I kind of bought a plot of land and plunked down the house, and it was partially furnished, but I kind of finished furnishing it and everything, and then I just kind of moved them in. So they kind of lost all their ties to everyone they knew back at the old town. In fact, in her genealogy, her mom and dad, Alicia and Isaac, are gone, unfortunately. But that's okay, we still have all of their videos to remember them by. And instead, just kind of starting fresh. That's why I'm calling this Swans in Paradise, and starting fresh with episode 1. The other, it's the same series, but it's still continuing the same story, just with a new home and a new town and everything. And because of that, boom, we've got the time traveler just kind of showing up at our front door. Instead of, because at the other town, the time machine, the whole thing showed up at the festival grounds instead. But here it's showing up at our front door and stuff. And I figured I would include this little sequence. So the previous visit we did to the future with their descendants, I mean, it was going to be changed anyway because of some of the things that they've been doing in the story, but it's going to be completely changed one way or the other because this will be, like, according to this storyline, this will be the first time that they've met the time traveler, etc., etc. So, and Jeffrey decides to throw a water balloon at Emmett. I don't know why. By the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with Back to the Future, the movie, they named this character after Dr. Emmett Brown from that movie by calling him Emmett. So I thought that was kind of a cute nod to that movie. So now we need to help him fix his time machine. He kind of came back in time, and he lost all his power cells, even though it's glowing pretty brightly for something that doesn't have power. So she's got to collect those and give them back to him, and then they can use the time portal. I'm not gonna use it right away. I want to kind of get them established in this town a little bit first. By the way, yeah, that's the university mascot without his costume. It's just kind of prancing around in the front yard. In fact, he actually delivered the university welcome pack and everything already, and I just dumped it into baby Blake's inventory. He can use it at some point in the future, since both Mom and Dad are university graduates already. It's not like they need to go back. I think they can go back for one more term if they wanted to, but I'm going to continue just kind of working with them towards their current life goals and everything. Dad wants to be a world-renowned surgeon, and he hasn't lost any of his progress in his career, so that's a good thing. So we'll continue on from where he is now. And Mom is still working on her painting career, and then her focus is charisma and guitar playing for her a lifetime wish or a lifetime goal. Oh, I see. I still have the university welcome pack there, but I that will eventually get moved into Blake's inventory, although it may or may not be in the edited version or not. So yeah, he kind of goes back and he fixes his time portal, and then he goes back home, and I ended up just shutting it down because of I found the bright glow here to be slightly distracting, so I thought I would shut it down, and we'll reactivate it for a future episode when we want to go into the future and discover the descendants of the family and everything else. But I might wait until Blake is a little bit older. Maybe I'll do it when he's a kid. Maybe I'll do it when he's a teen. I don't know yet. We'll see. I know Aria actually went, when we had Aria, she went to boarding school. I don't know if I will send Blake to boarding school or not. We'll see about that. Might not. Because she didn't stay in boarding school the entire time. Anyway, she came back early and stuff. And, might be interesting to see how we can develop Blake here. So there we go. Just deactivated that portal. And here's Dad picking Blake up. And he's about to go do some potty training. So while I was trying very hard to get everything, get past all the glitches that I had on the other game, Blake was already taught how to walk and talk, so we've already gotten past that. He can walk and talk. The only thing he can't do right now is go to the potty by himself. So that's the one challenge left to accomplish while he's a toddler. And since this is a fully modern house, or future house, we have these food synthesizers, so, I love it. Instant food. You don't have to spend all this time cooking. And yeah, trying to call a household meal here, and have her sell this painting. It gets her a little closer to a promotion, even though she is freelance, so she's self-employed and everything, but still can get, as you earn more and more from her art, or as she earns more and more, she gets promotions and things. And so here is one of the two dining rooms. There's actually two dining rooms in this house. This is actually, there's a kitchen upstairs and a kitchen downstairs. Not quite sure why they did that, but I was like, well, that's kind of convenient because up here it's closer to the bedrooms and everything. And this is a completely enclosed dining room. And the downstairs one, the dining room, is open to the swimming pool. Alright, so I also went out and I took a look at the quote-unquote town, which is actually a set of interconnected islands. And to get to from one place to another, you have to go by boat. I did buy the family a boat, and I think Dad has one of the cars in his inventory from the other house, but I don't think he has the other one. Not entirely sure, but be that as it may, here's the master bedroom. I got them a modern bed, or future bed, one of these kind of dream pod beds. I'm just having them sleep in it for now, but you can have them control their dreaming and everything. And then this house came with, this is actually out in the garage, but it's a futuristic shower. I'm guessing it's a sonic shower, kind of like you hear about in Star Trek. And so she doesn't even get undressed. She's completely clothed while she's taking her shower. And her hygiene gets completely clean, and it's very, very fast. It's much faster than a standard shower. So I'm actually thinking of putting, I don't even know why there's a shower out in the garage anyway, so I might actually move that indoors. Because I was like, hey, that's actually kind of cool, and it's very quick, so I've got an all-in-one shower in the master bedroom, but having one of those sonic ones might be kind of cool too. And it's almost Blake's birthday, so and Aria's, they're both having a birthday. So we're gonna definitely, before the end of this episode, or around the end of this episode, we're gonna have the parties for them. And Aria will become a full adult. So she's still a young adult at the moment. And Blake will become a child. So we'll have to say goodbye to his toddlerhood. He's become very attached to his little imaginary friend there. So be interesting to see what happens with that. Because I know that there's some interesting things that can happen where they can actually turn real. Where, I mean, first of all, they can become alive, but they still look like a doll. They're just the same size and as a child. But then they can go from being an alive doll to actually becoming real, to actually looking like a humanoid child. And so you can just end up having another child in the household, which can be interesting. So we'll see we'll see if that happens or not. I'm not necessarily going to force it, but if the opportunities kind of pop up, I might just kind of run with it. So we'll see. And you know, these guys are not newlyweds anymore. You know, they have a small toddler, and yet they still can't keep their hands off each other. So I guess I made the right choice. Oh, and look at this. This is how he transports to work. Not quite sure why we have transporter technology, but I think it came with the house. But not quite sure. But it's, you know, because other days he gets picked up, you know, has to go out by boat and stuff. But this day he just happens to transporter over there. I'm liking it. All right, so mom decides to sit there and do some drawing and things. But I was like, no, you know what? We should do some more potty training. Try and get that done before little Blake becomes a full child. You don't want a child that needs potty training. Actually, that doesn't happen. Once they've aged up to a full child, they just are instantly potty trained to begin with. But be that as it may, might as well try and be a good mom and get the child completely trained and everything. And I gave Blake a real fancy looking future tub thing. Haven't used it yet, but obviously he's too young to use it. And mom and dad have the all-in-one thing, and they actually have a big soaker tub in their room too. So, which I also haven't used. Okay, and this is going to be later on in the evening, and we have a burglar again. And apparently the burglar alarm didn't go off. I think it's because I have it behind this, on the other side of this half wall. I ended up having to put this half wall around that nature thing because Aria kept complaining that the room was unfinished because there was like grass in the room or something. So I ended up putting up that half wall around it to keep her happy. And so I had Jeff call the police. And look at this. She's downstairs, she's dressed as a burglar, and then all of a sudden she's dressed in a bikini. I'm like, what's going on here? I thought this was rather odd. And I thought I would, you know, have him fight her. And she's like falling in love with him. I'm like, if my glitches follow this family? Or is this just something that can happen sometimes? Here comes the cop coming to arrest. And it's a female cop too, so, and they get into it. At least we stopped the burglar from actually taking them. Which is a good thing. She just kind of stopped and and the burglar beat the cop. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, there's definitely something about Jeffrey that makes people attracted to him right away. I'm not using the same cheats that I was in the previous games, so those should not have followed the family, I don't think. Oh yeah, so now he's, you know, getting at her, and the cop changes into a bikini. I'm like, okay, is she going for a swim? looks like she wants to, at least, but and then she gets dressed and just kind of wanders off. I'm like, okay, and the burglar runs off. I'm like, whatever. So the next day, of course, planning a party. Now, we have a completely different set of friends here, and she doesn't know everybody in town like her mom did. Like I said, I haven't been using the same cheats that I was using before. These are just people that we've met in town so far. So I'm inviting everyone but the burglar. And yes, Uncle Chad's not going to be in the list anymore, but, you know, I'm sure Uncle Chad is living happily back in Appaloosa Plains by himself, wooing all the ladies. Alright, so we've got the birthday party planned, and then I decided to have Mom in the downstairs kitchen go ahead and start, you know, cooking up a bunch of different dishes for dinner for the party. So I thought I can do some nachos and things, and she's not having luck with all of the dishes. So some of the things, like she did some fried peanut butter banana sandwiches, those came out fine. But then the next dish didn't. The hot dogs didn't come out fine. And then she did some nachos, those came out okay. So I have to get rid of the bad hot dogs, and then I thought I'd try my hand at some hot wings. I thought that would be good, and then that didn't work. Anytime the squirts are from the synthesizer means it's bad quality, and so even though it looks fine, if it's bad quality, people, if they eat it, they get sick and stuff, so I need to get rid of it. But you can see I've got one of the birthday cakes right here. And then there's another birthday cake outside on the outside dining room for Blake's birthday. So we've got Aria's birthday and then we've got Blake's birthday. And we're just kind of both doing them at the same party because you might as well. They're both going to be aging up at the same time. And here come all the guests in their boats. I thought that was kind of cute. Like three of the guests all have the same style of boat. And of course we already have paparazzi hanging around outside because Aria is still famous, she's still a celebrity, so just can't escape her fame. And everyone's coming up to Blake's room to say hello. And like, Mom's gotta go pick him up and take him downstairs so he can blow out the candles. I think Dad is actually passed out in his bedroom at the moment. He didn't get much sleep the night before, and then he went to work, and then he had like a really bad day at work, and I think he made an embarrassing mistake or something, and so I was like, okay, if he comes to the party, fine. If he doesn't, it's okay. It's like he had a bad day. Alright, so, oh yeah, I decided to turn off that radio so that, or that stereo system. There he goes. We're putting Blake down, just so that he's down in the right area for the party. But then I thought, well, we'll let Aria get her birthday out of the way first. Probably should have done Blake first, but in the end it doesn't matter too much. Blake is happily entertaining himself. Now we just have to wait for people to come and help Aria celebrate. So we'll see if I keep wanting to call him Isaac, but it's Jeffrey is the dad. Oh, and one thing I did do that I didn't include in the footage is I had Aria ask Jeffrey to give up the werewolf curse, and he agreed. So he went to the spa or something for that, and so he will no longer be becoming a werewolf. Although I'm getting a lot of indications that Blake might actually have the werewolf curse. I don't think he can. Yep, and Jeff did come to the party. Yeah. But I don't think Jeffrey can transform into a werewolf yet. Probably not until he's a teen. I don't know. We'll see. Alright. So she is now a full adult. And she's back to her mom's haircut. Although I am going to, with the next episode, I won't include doing it, but you'll see her in different clothing. It's kept her in the same clothes that she's been wearing all this time. And since she's a full adult now, I think I need to give her something a little bit more mature to wear. And from the looks of things, you'll see a little bit later on, Blake's gonna also need a makeover as well. Big surprise, right? Alright, so, yeah, so we got everyone coming out with the cake. So this is the outdoor dining room. It's just kind of overlooking the swimming pool and everything, which is kind of nice. I like this setup here. And the reason I ended up making both rooms dining rooms is they both had the same chandelier. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let's have two dining rooms because we have two kitchens. Might as well use them. Jeff wanted to sit there. Alright. Oh yeah, and I had a couple of hiccups in the game too, where things got frozen. I tried to edit as much of that out as I possibly could, but I didn't quite get all of it. Alright, so there is Mom with Blake, and now it's his turn to age up and become a child. And that should be, he should be a little bit more interesting to interact with. I'll actually get him a treehouse as well. But there's a spot in the yard where I think would be perfect for a treehouse. And maybe I'll get him to play with me in the treehouse and stuff. Could be interesting. So one of those moments that I missed coming out of the game, just kind of freezing. He kept doing that to me quite a lot today. But I think it's my computer. I've been having a lot of problems with my computer lately. I'm actually going to need a new gaming system in the next few months. I'm going to save up and get a new gaming system because all these problems, I mean, what you're seeing here is definitely a processor issue, probably graphics processor, but I'm just having way too many issues with my games, with my editing, with just everything. And I've done pretty much everything I know in terms of fixing all the problems. And I've just, trust me, I've even taken it to experts and everything. So I just need a new system. Well, here we go. Blake is now a child. And for some reason, it says modest early development, so I couldn't choose a trait for him for some reason. Maybe because I didn't read books to him? I don't know. But he developed the heavy sleeper trait, which is his mom's trait. That's good. That's actually kind of a nice trait, because if they're a heavy sleeper, they don't, a lot of noise doesn't wake them up very easily, so I think that's actually not a bad trait to have. Yeah, definitely need to give him a better haircut than that. And maybe get him some better clothes. I don't know what his everyday clothes look like, but from the little icon way on the right side, it looks kind of dorky, so I need to fix that. But for now, we're gonna enjoy him being a child and see how good of a student he is and that kind of thing. And we'll go from there. Well, thanks for joining me for this first episode of Swans in Paradise, and look forward to the next episode next week. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys take care, and Happy New Year. Until next time, goodbye.